You know, when you talk about fitness, most people are familiar with muscular strength, aerobic activity, muscular endurance, and even flexibility. But really the forgotten component of fitness is flexibility. Most people think of flexibility as really an afterthought. You know, if I get time, I'm actually going to do some simple stretches. But you really have to make sure you're paying more attention to your flexibility program. And the reason is if you think about your skeletal framework, if you think about a skeleton, on top of that is your muscular system. Now what happens is if you have muscle imbalances, that actually creates structural deviations. So what happens is the muscular system will literally pull the bony framework out of alignment. Now this is a real problem. The reason is it leads to a number of orthopedic problems: hip pain, knee pain, ankle pain. It can lead to neck pain, shoulder problems, a whole host of physical problems just because of imbalance. So it doesn't matter if you're talking about muscular imbalance or biochemical imbalance. Optimal health, optimal fitness, it's all about balance. Now one of the ways to ensure that you actually have optimal balance is by incorporating flexibility in your routine. Now most people are familiar with basic stretches. Most people are not familiar with this device right here called a foam roll. Now what can you do with a foam roll? You can do something called self-myofascial release or a self-massage. Now what is that? Basically what we're doing is we're actually going to roll this area over certain parts of our body, and what we're going to actually look for is tender points or trigger points. Now when we find those tender points or those trigger points, it's basically gummed up tissue. It's disorganized fascia, and actually what we want to try and do is we want to try and increase the extensibility of that musculature. So what I want you to think about, if you have a tender point or a trigger point, it's like a balled up fist. Okay? This can actually create those skeletal deviations leading to injury. So what we want to do is we want to use this device to actually increase the extensibility of that musculature, rebalance the bony framework, and definitely stay away from injury. We're also going to start to increase our performance. Now, with self-myofascial release, what we're going to do is we're going to ease into this. We're going to learn some basic moves on the foam roll. And it's something you don't necessarily have to do every day. I encourage people to use this every single day. Preferably, we're going to do it every day. If you can't do it every day, at least 3 times a week. Particularly when you're getting started, you want to spend at least 10-15 minutes on it. You can do it while you're watching television, and the benefits are definitely going to be fabulous. You're going to start to rebalance your bony framework, you're going to get rid of nagging injuries, and you're going to increase your performance. So the self-myofascial release has to be an integral part of your program. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the basic fundamentals of foam roll and get ready to have some fun.